Every strike brings me closer to the next home run. Babe Ruth. You know, Babe Ruth was the strikeout king as well as the home run king. Hank Aaron, same boat. Both of them swung for the fences time and time again. And they were willing to take those strikeouts in order to get the home runs because they learned and they just kept punching it through. And my friends, each and every day, practice to show yourself approved. All it takes 10 to 15 minutes. That is all we ask. And it will come with time. You've got to give yourself the time. You've got to get the mileage in. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. I love all those mottos, sayings, whatever they may be. They are wonderful, and they just keep encouraging me each and every day. I'm here each and every day for you, and you need to be here too. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks and Bitcoin up, bonds and gold down. Let's see how this week is starting. One thing that we'll do to begin it with is we're going to update our weekly trend line. Here's how we do it. We, of course, move forward. Now, you can see we're chopping through. In fact, let me expand this. For those of you that are listening, as I moved the trend line down, it chopped off the top part of last week's candle. We can't do that, so we're going to come down and update from last week's candle. That means we don't have 3 candles. Typically, we feel better about a trend when we're connecting more candles, though this is the weekly chart. Now, as we hone in on this weekly chart, what do we see first thing? Well, we do have a down candle that is forming even though the chart is up for the day. Now, what does that mean for us? Well, that of course means that we're looking at Heikin-Ashi candlesticks that are measured in a different way. Not familiar with Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, I'll put the Class A training we have on that at the end of today's video for you. Really want you to have it and understand. Heikin-Ashi candlesticks show us the average pace of movement. They are different than the high open, low close. And as you understand how they're formed and how they are actually put together, it helps you get a better feel for the, I think, more accuracy that it shows you and where the trend really is. And that's all we actually care about. Now, we see that we're not reaching the low yet of last week. We see the volume just starting out, but it's low. Is it a fifth of what we saw last week? No, probably not, but probably not all that far from it. So as we watch this week begin, we will pay close attention, look at all of the volume over the last few weeks. And we see this high volume again as things move down. So if we don't hit that low again, we will be paying close attention as to where things may be going as this market continues to move along. So let's go back as we look at where things are on the 2-day. 2-day is well below, decently below that weekly trend line. Same with the half-day. We see where things were up in the morning, a little further up in the afternoon. And of course, this average volume here, you can see in the afternoon, reached up to it. But again, as you look at it, you can see both the morning and the afternoon. If you look at the bottom here, as I move this dashed line away, which can confuse you, you can see that there were little wicks on the bottom. So again, not super strong up moves. So we will pay attention as the week moves along. Let's go to the Qs. That is the NASDAQ 100. See how much different that is. See smaller candles here. Of course, we can stretch them out a little more. High volume last week, higher than average. This week, again, not reaching a lower low. We can, of course, same thing. We can update this trend line. And I just messed up my... Okay, let's see here. Okay, a little hard to do. Okay, I'm going to blow this. This is just a little learning for you guys. When it's difficult dealing with it like it looks like now, then what you need to do is expand the chart. And you do that right here at the bottom right corner. Then you can shrink it back down. And you can see now, even though I screwed up my prior And I'll just sort of move that back up. We'll reset that later. But you can see that I've now reset my weekly trend line. But you can see that both on the 2-day and the half-day, we're still well below on both of them. So we'll continue to watch how this week starts and see what we learn as price continues to move. We'll go to bonds now. Bonds have been so good for us, going down yet again to start the week. And as we look at this crazy nice trend line, of course, you guys know we captured that 2.10% early on the week beginning the 18th of September and sold half that trade, took that profit, and allowed the rest of that practice trade to run. And running, it has been doing, down again, almost another 0.5%. Now, we are paying attention to where things are. We're running right along that trend line. We can see the same thing on the 2-day as we've got a doji that's formed. Again, watching closely, you can see on the weekly too how we're just right there on it. So maybe bonds are finding a bottom, maybe they're not, but we will keep an eye on things because this trade has been so good to us. Let's look at gold. Gold pulling back a little bit, a little over 0.5% for the day. You don't really see that. You can see where things popped up higher on the 2-day chart. You can see on the half-day, though, where that pop-up on the 2-day chart was Friday afternoon. On Monday, didn't reach a higher high. In fact, down a little bit. As we look at where the weekly is, you can see also here that, again, moving in the right direction, but not reaching that high from last week. And lastly, we'll take a look at where we are on Bitcoin. It'll give us a chance to update our trend line here. Can we attach all 3 of those candles? No, we're cutting off the bottom of the prior of this week last week. But we can see here we're moving up 2.31%. We have not reached the high of last week yet, but look at all that volume. And again, things moving in the right direction on Bitcoin. A bit stuttered, but still moving up, looking nice. We can see price well above the weekly trend line on the 2-day and on the half-day. Remember where we saw Thursday and Friday things moving down, but turning around on Monday. So Bitcoin, again, moving in the right direction. That's where we are, folks, as we end the day on Monday. A new week starts. I hope you are paying attention to the markets, practice trading. Again, just 10 to 15 minutes. That's all you need to put in. And again, if you're pressed for time, make this time. It is important. If you will stick with it each and every day, this will start coming to you. You will get better and better and better. Just stick with it. God bless you, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.